there, I'm Adrienne Everheart. I am a feminine energy dating and relationship coach. I help women get in touch with their natural feminine energy so that they can have the very best relationship with the man in their life, the masculine energy man in their life, or call forth the man you're meant to be with. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you just would please hit the subscribe button right over here. Subscribe, give this video a like. This supports me as a YouTube creator, and it also helps other women find my channel and learn how to really fix whatever's going wrong in their relationships and feel their very, very best. And that is what I'm here to do. And today we're going to talk about drama. We're going to talk about being a drama queen. But as I said earlier, there are drama kings. There are guys who love drama. And there's also something called change back theory or change back phenomenon. I cannot wait to tell you about change back phenomenon because it's when a man actually wants you to go back to your dramatic ways. And I'm going to help you learn how to not be so dramatic. And you might find out that your guy actually ends up causing a lot more problems. So you fall back into your dramatic ways. So I'm going to teach you today how to have a nice, calm, relaxed, and loving relationship without the stress, without the drama, without the tears, without all the ups and downs that come with a high drama relationship, okay? So first, we are going to talk a little bit about what is drama. Now, as I said before, men can have drama. I'm going to talk about change back theory. But ultimately, drama is about someone yelling, calling attention to themselves, quietly sulking. This is one that men do. Let me know if you hear it. Let me hear from you if you have a man who quietly sulks and that's his way of drama, or he pulls away, or he gets really quiet on you. But drama is essentially a person saying, notice me. Look at me. I'm going to tell you all about this drama. I'm going to create some sort of event so you will notice me and hear me, and I can get your attention. I can get your focus on me. Now, I teach you how to use feeling statements. And a lot of people misuse feeling statements because feeling statements are a way to say, yeah, I want you to hear what I feel. But at the same time, it's just about you, and it's not about stirring up drama. All right, so let's start off there. We know that drama is about being sad, outwardly sad, expressing that in a big way. You can be crying. Drama can be aggressive. Drama can be someone hitting the floor, pounding the floor, the wall. Drama can be directed at one's own self. Some people will hit or slap or pull their hair, get very dramatic. They can throw a tantrum, but they can also sulk, and they can get really quiet, and they can shut down. And that, to me, is how a lot of men get dramatic. But men can also be dramatic and get angry. And I think we all know what that's about. All right. So how did this happen? How did you get drama? How did you learn how to use your words? Because that's what women do. We can get dramatic. We can pout and kind of complain and call attention to ourselves. But how did we learn this? We learned it in our childhood. We just learned it as children. And at some point it worked. And the people around us responded to it. And so we kept doing it. And we said, well, this is a way that this works. And a lot of us learned it from our moms, or we learned some from our dads, or we picked it up from other women. I remember learning how if I cried, I could get something. If I cried, but I couldn't cry too much. It had to be a certain amount of crying, right? So I just want you to all think about that, because this is where you might need a little help from a therapist if you do really have a problem with drama. You might want to go deeper with this. And how is I supported? How is my dramatic behavior supported? Or who am I attracting in my life that supports dramatic behavior? That's where you might need a little therapy, or just watch some of my videos, get some good self-reflection, and go deeper into your body, and just let's begin to open up some awareness about what that drama means for you, what it's doing for you in your life. Okay, how is it paying off to have this drama? Well, in the short term, it might work for a little bit. For a little while, it might work. If you get really big and dramatic, your guy might text you more because he's like, I want to avoid all that drama that happened to us earlier, right? But that is not a sustainable way of having a loving, long-lasting relationship or a loving, long-lasting marriage. Plus, drama stresses us out, and drama is like, it's thick in the air around you. You can feel it. And again, I'm going to give you some tips and examples about what drama is and how to get past this in your relationship, okay? And someone said, asking him a question will upset him. Why? We're going to get into it. Now, masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy for me is you must fix this now. So I want you to think about that. Masculine energy is fix this now. And see how often you are on the other end of your phone or in a situation with a man where you need something from him. He's not calling enough. He's not around enough. He's not there for you. He didn't text back. He didn't do what he said he was going to do. And you need him to fix it now. Masculine energy is urgency. It's fix this right now. And that can create drama. Drama can also be, you need to understand this right now. You need to understand me clearly. You need to know exactly what I'm feeling. You need to give me the attention that I want and need right now, or this thing will happen. So I want you to just begin to notice in your life, what is it that you're saying and doing that you actually want something fixed? You want it repaired immediately, right now. Or you say, well, we need to work on this, but it comes with these small injections of drama into your life. So nothing positive is gained through force. Nothing. Not training horses, not training dogs, not training whales, not training elephants, not training the human male, not training humans at all. And we are ultimately training each other all the time. We're training one another. We do or say one thing and we respond a certain way and we go, oh, that worked. Or, oh, that felt good. That's why your husband or boyfriend begins to more and more and more avoid you. He's training you because you're coming at him with some sort of energy. And he does one of the greatest training techniques there is, which is you turn your back on someone. How does it feel? I'm looking at you. I turn my back on you. So if you're wondering why that's happening, that's what's going on. It's a type of training and conditioning because the drama is too much. He can't handle it. All right. So we're going to get to his drama too. Don't worry. But ultimately, masculine energy is let's fix this now. Feminine energy is much more slow. It's more deliberate. It takes its time. It thinks, it processes, it feels. And that's where we want to get you to be, is we want you to get you in this feeling body that isn't like this, urgent, to have it fixed now. Because when you get in that urgent, fix it now, you go back to 6-year-old you, where you're behaving and you're having a tantrum. And we're all capable of drama. Okay, let's move on. Actually, let me look at a couple of questions real quick here. Okay, Andrea said, is it drama if we both looking at his phone to watch a movie trailer? A message popped up and said, I'm still upset with you. I didn't say anything that day, but reached out to her, found out info. Drama is that you went and chased that person down instead of talking to your man. So you're watching a movie trailer, that message stops up. You go, okay, I need to talk about this right now. He says, no, I'm not going to talk about you. Okay. You let me know when you're ready. You get your purse, you walk out the door. You don't say another word. There's absolutely no drama there. There's a boundary. I want to talk to you. When you're ready to talk, you let me know. Otherwise, I'm turning my back on you. You see? That's how it works. There's no drama. There's just you taking care of yourself. All right. Susanna says his biggest drama was, I was married for 15 years, all good. She left me. You will do the same. It's not going to work. Okay. Here's a big one I teach in feminine energy. He said, I was in love for 15 years and she left me, and so will you. I have a client right now who is having a very similar thing with a man. He's a different race than her, and he keeps saying, you're going to leave me for some white guy. And she is very much in love with him and very much devoted, but he keeps telling her it's going to fail because of this thing. Okay? So the only thing you can do in that moment that is not dramatic, where you're not proving to them and reminding them over and over again, hey, look at me. I love you. You're so great. This will never happen, right? That's drama. Instead, you can just say, okay, I hear you. I'm totally going to miss you. You're amazing. And I guess if I'm going to leave you anyway, and you don't want to see how this unfolds, I guess I'll be moving on, but I'm going to miss you so much, and I'll forever be curious about what would have happened. And you go away for a little bit. You don't have to break up with him or anything. Just say, okay, well, if that's how you feel, I'm not sure what I'm going to do then in this relationship. I'm not sure where that leaves me. That's not drama. That's, here's what I feel. Well, I'm not sure, you see. This is about getting in touch with your feelings. And this is a great time to segue into the drama triangle. Now, I hope you guys can see this all with there we go. Kind of flatten it out for you. Hello. So the drama triangle, a good example of the one we were just talking about, is when the man is telling you, my relationship was 15 years and she left me and you will too. He is in a victim mode. Now, I didn't come up with this drama triangle. A psychologist came up with this, I think back in like 1972. But that man is being the victim. And you might come in and rescue him and say, honey, I'm always going to be there for you. I'm never going to leave you. You don't ever have to worry about that. You're rescuing. Whoop, there we go. And he might then begin to persecute you and say, like, why are you saying this? Why are you bringing this up? You might begin to engage in this drama triangle. But regardless, if he's victim and you're rescuing, you're already in on it. So I'm going to teach you how, with feminine energy, to escape this drama triangle. You can think about any relationship you've had, any conversation you've had. One of you will be the victim for a minute. One of you might be the rescuer, or you might go in back and forth between persecutor and victim. So this is one that my husband and I do, is that we'll kind of go back and forth between these two, because nobody's rescuing anybody. Like, this is where we stay. And you might begin to know your relationships can kind of go either way. Okay, or kind of go back and forth here. It's really interesting once you start to look at your relationships and break this down, okay, into these pieces. So let's see what someone has to say, and we'll show you more how this drama triangle works. So Someone says, what if we're on vacation together and it's evening? What's the alternative to picking up your bag and leaving? Well, you don't leave, but you go down to the hotel bar and, get a little snack and hang out by the pool and go walk around the grounds, put on your favorite podcast, listen to some music, go down to the lobby. You walk away and you tell him why. You tell him and you say, I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling like I want a little space right now. Let's talk about it later. I would love to do that. I'm going to go for a little walk. And you, without drama, excuse yourself and go get a little time away from him. Okay. My next thing I want to tell you about, and we're going to go more into this with more examples. I got a lot of examples for you, is that ultimately when you do learn feminine energy and you get better at it, and I have an ebook called 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. And in 500 Ways to Talk to a Man, I teach you how to access what's in your body and how to make it about you, what you're feeling, and not twist it into making it about him or about it. Like, it's seeming like this, it's feeling like this. No, I feel, okay? So when you get better at this and your relationships start to improve, you will begin to notice that calm, healthy, easy relationship that you have always desired actually feels boring. And healthy love can feel very boring because you're used to a roller coaster ride. And then when you finally get to this healthy, easy place, that's when you write me or you contact me on iHeart Love Academy and you say, Adrienne, I've met this great guy and he's wonderful, but he's so boring. You've got a future husband on your hands. It's not that he's boring, it's that you're used to drama. You're used to drama and having all this stuff happening to you, okay? Earlier today, a wonderful client of mine I worked with for years, she posted on the group that her guy had made some great progress. And she said, it's so wonderful that God is working such magic in your life and helping you, something along those lines. And he said, yes, I'm happy about it too. I love you, but sometimes you make me crazy. Something along that. It was like, I love you, but let me take it down a few notches. And this is very often what commitment phobic guys do. They can't go all in. And that's okay. You can still have a wonderful life with this person. I have clients whose husbands have maybe said, I love you a couple of times. There are men like that out there. That's his problem, not yours. As long as you're getting love, as long as you're getting what you want, and you can affirm that this person does love you. And again, that's up to you. You might need to hear, I love you every day. But ultimately, you focusing on that positive. You're focusing on what he is doing because she wanted to say, I don't feel comfortable with you now also negating what you just said. That's drama. That's a little bit of drama. That's causing a problem. There really is no problem. Your man loves you. He's just being a man. This is what they do. We're the ones who can really confess our love to someone and not back out of it, Women are better at that than men are. Although some men are excellent at it. All right. So let's go over some examples. We're going to talk more about this drama triangle. We were talking about my client. Her guy said, I love you, but you make me a little crazy sometimes. He started to persecute her a little bit. And she went to victim. She went to victim mode. You see how that works? So I don't know why I can see this. Mimi, Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know why I can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Brittany, can you message me and tell me if you see something in my screen? Anyway, so she became victim. He wanted to persecute her. You see how drama happens. All right, girls, let's keep moving on. The other day on iHeart Love Academy, someone had said that she messaged her guy and she said, "You have not called me. And it felt really wonderful connecting with you." She's using a feeling statement. "It felt so good when I'm around you, but I've noticed you haven't called the past 3 days, and I don't consider myself a high maintenance girl, but I don't want to be seen as high maintenance, but I'm really curious why you haven't contacted me." That is some drama. That is some drama, because ultimately there's a little bit of victim, there's a little bit of persecuting going on, right? And the guy kind of came in and rescued. He goes, "Oh, I don't want to make you feel, I've just been really busy." He was trying not to get involved though. So ladies, when you send those messages that are laden with this sort of manipulative drama, that's what you're going to get. You're not connecting with that man's heart. An alternative is to just say, question mark hi, if you haven't heard from him in about 3 days. But remember, when you're just dating a person, nobody really owes anybody anything. You're there to just see what happens. You're there to see how often he calls or not. You're there to allow it to unfold. Drama to me is really about small things getting big. And a big one in our house not too long ago was who let the cat out or who let the dog out. So small can cause big drama because one of us will blame the other one. "Did you let the dog out? I thought I said don't let the dog out." "I didn't let the dog out. Why are you blaming it on me? I didn't do it." Someone let the dog out. It must have been you. You see how you can go back and forth with these, all right? Now, a lot of people have the rescuer happening. Now, remember, I told you, Jeff and I don't experience that as much. We have more of the persecutor victim going on. But rescuer is where the guy will kind of come at you hard, either with victim or persecution, and you will go, "No, it can work. I've read this book. Let's watch this movie. Let's go to this retreat." You come in rescuing. Instead of just accepting what he's saying, go, "Okay, I hear you. Really, really get him. Oh, wow. That must feel so sad that you were married for 15 years and she left you. That must feel terrible." Now you're connecting with his heart, right? Okay, so really, really get him tool. I teach that in Fem Tools for Dating. I talk about it in 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. I think I've done pretty good with this one. Last minute, before we do some Q&A, one more thing. I want to talk a little bit about, I'm going to give you more examples, but the biggest thing with drama is don't engage. When you engage and you buy into it, you're going into one of these roles. So when you can stay in a place of "Oh, I hear that," and you can kind of separate yourself from it a little bit, which, believe me, is really takes some time and it can be kind of difficult to do. Feminine energy takes practice. For years and years of your life, you have been in masculine energy mode. So worry not, feminine energy takes practice. All right. So I'm going to go in. Oh my gosh, Nalia Rose. Fantastic question. She says, "How do we distinguish drama from boundaries?" Such a great question. Drama and boundaries. Okay. So boundaries are, this is where I'm feeling safe. Drama happens when it becomes about a preference. Okay. I'm going to use pornography as an example off the top of my head. You may have a man you're dating or you're married to who watches pornography. Now, an example of this would be, "I don't want you watching pornography anymore. I'm going to check your computer, and if I find one bit of pornography on it, I'm out the door. I'm leaving you. Because I don't feel good. I feel dishonored. It violates women. It's terrible. These women are slaves and they're having to do this. It's not good. It's dehumanizing. And I don't want you doing it anymore." That's kind of some drama. Don't get me wrong, I agree with all of it. And all your girlfriends probably will too. But that's drama. So what we want to do is we want to go to a boundary. And that is how is that pornography affecting you? So with my first husband, it was an issue. It was very hidden from me, but it was an issue because he just wasn't in the bedroom with me as much. So a boundary for that is, I feel like pornography is getting in the way of our intimacy. I feel like pornography is creating more distance between us. And I feel so sad. I miss you. What can we do? You see how you're opening up something here to happen. So drama, things like that, that's a preference. It kind of goes along with preferences. Boundaries are about this is actively affecting my life. I'm having a sexless marriage. That's actively affecting my life. Okay. Something like drinking. I think you drink too much. Every night you have a big glass of wine, and I think that's too much. That's kind of going in drama, right? You're kind of persecuting that person a little bit. Or if you've drank a whole bottle of wine tonight, the kids and I are going to go stay at my mom's house because it can be very angry in the house. It can feel very angry and scary for us. You see, that's a boundary. All right. I hope that has helped a lot of you. So I'll wait for that one. Okay. This is from Sandra. I don't have a question at the moment. Just really want to say thank you. I was in a breakup recently and I did all her programs and it changed my relationship around more in love and happier. Yay! Yay! That's wonderful. I love that I have a Getting Back program that works. And I know it works. And I really want to shout it from the rooftops how much it works, but I don't want to brag. But yeah, it works. It works because it rebuilds you. And for those of you that are looking just like for this magic bullet, how do I, make something instantly happen back into my life? That is not how the ABCs works, but the ABC stands for absolute best chances. And it does work. And someone else said it definitely works, did for me. Thank you for that support. Thank you. Oh, hot one here. He doesn't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. We're not going to talk about it. I am not going to persecute you until you talk about it. Okay. However, whatever it is, you didn't tell me what it was. Eventually, I want you to bring it up to him and say, the other night you didn't want to talk about this. Can we take a minute and discuss it? I'm feeling. What do you feel? Just make your I'm feeling and I feel not about him. That is something a lot of women do in I Heart Love Academy. I'll say, how do you feel? And they're like, well, I feel like he is disrespecting me. That is not a feeling statement. That is something about that guy. What do you feel? Okay. What do you feel? Okay. Oh, thank you, Ray, very much. Oh, another one. Thank you. Kenny says, do you think some couples fight just to make up? There is such a thing, and I was talking about this kind of change back phenomenon where someone is just asking for drama. You're begging for drama, and you can kind of get addicted to drama. And when the relationship starts to hit that kind of boring, healthy lull, one of you wants to start some drama. And again, it goes back to our childhoods. It goes back to like, this is what we're most used to. All right. So if some of you are addicted to drama, I think you should really talk to a therapist about it. I have like an affiliate program with betterhelp.com. If you go to betterhelp.com/Everheart, I have a little coupon you can use. And they have some amazing online therapists to talk with about that, about am I addicted to drama? Because there might be some issues you need to talk about. to get past that, to help you get more on track with your feminine energy. But ultimately, when that drama pops up, there's this lull and then the drama pops up. It's totally normal, but you don't have to engage. You do not have to engage in the drama triangle. All right. Let's find a good one. Let's see. Okay, I get this one often about, I had it the other day in iHeart Love Academy about sex. And someone was like, I shouldn't have to initiate sex all the time. He should do it. It should be masculine. And some guys just are not going to do it. They're just not wired that way. They might be a little more shy. So you could create a power struggle and hold out until one of you initiates sex or one of you plans a date. You could do that. Or you could get him involved with you. You see, you could create it's an us thing happening instead of like me and him. We're on the same team. So when it comes to things like dating, going on dates and initiating sex, if you have good sex with your guy, and if you have good dates when you do go out, don't rock the boat. Don't create some drama where there's no drama. Now, look, if you go talk to some therapist or someone like that, they might say, no, a relationship should be equal and both people should contribute. Look, I'm sure they're going to tell you that, but it may not be what works. And I want you to do what works. If you don't like planning dates all the time, don't plan a lot of dates. Just say, I'm going to the zoo on Saturday and I'm packing a picnic. What do you think? And if he goes, yeah, it's okay. Go to the zoo by yourself. Go to the zoo with a girlfriend. Go out to a movie by yourself. Go to dinner by yourself. I've done it to Jeff before. There have been times where I'm like, oh, I just want to go sit at this bar at this nice restaurant and have an appetizer and a glass of wine. He's like, yeah, I'm not feeling like it. And I'm like, bye. And I go do it myself. So I want you to be in that place and that energy, but always come to your husband and say, what do you think? Or, oh, it feels so good to snuggle up in bed right now. What do you think? And see if you can't get him to come along with you. There's no harm in saying, once in a while, it feels really good if, I like it when you're the man and I like it when you grab me and just want to make love to me. Or I love it when you plan something for us. What do you think? Just feels good to me. It makes me feel like a girl. It makes my toes curl. And then when he does plan something for you and it's not that great, you got to make sure instead of criticizing or nagging on it, that you let him know, oh, this felt so wonderful. This felt so wonderful. Oh, I should tell you guys, the other night, Jeff made one of my favorite meals, which is this cilantro lemon chicken dish. And sometimes I'm kind of watching him in the kitchen out of the corner of my eye while he cooks. And cilantro can be very gritty if you don't wash it enough. And sure enough, dinner time came. And it was like crunch, crunch. Yes, it was all gritty. But I managed to kind of just get around it. I mentioned it. I said, I don't know if their cilantro was washed well enough. And he goes, yeah, I kind of noticed that too. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it was a spice. Maybe it was black pepper. I don't know. But I managed to just kind of scoot different things around on my plate and I didn't criticize it. And at the end of dinner, he said, I'm going to make sure and wash the cilantro better next time. So that's how you do things like that. All right. That might not be right for you, but that's what's right for me. That's what feels good for me. Amy French has said, what are your thoughts on sharing past drama and painful relationship history with a new partner? How much do you share versus how to keep yourself in a new relationship? Thank you. Amy, that's a really good question. Because a lot of people feel like in order for us to really get to know our partner, we have to tell them everything. And you really don't. There are a lot of things Jeff still doesn't know about me. And they just haven't, there's no reason for me to tell him because they're really a pain story. and I'm building a brand new story with Jeff. I'm not living in the past with him. I'm not sharing every, everything, every thought you have in your head, every memory you have in your head. The reason that we feel like we should share these things is that we really want to have this connectedness, have this person understand us, have this person validate us. And the risk is they might not. They might not validate you. They might not know how to deal or cope with this thing you're saying. So, Amy, my question to you is, let it unfold. Now, if you were in a cult for 20 years, that's a pretty big deal, I think that's worth at some point revealing, a lot of women, a lot of my clients have had childhood abuse. And, one time I had mentioned some abuse to a guy I was dating, and he was like, oh, was it you and out in the front yard putting up your dukes with your dad? Completely shallow, ignorant conversation. And sometimes that's what you're going to get, So make sure, one of the best things I can tell you girls listening to me right now, every time you go to tell a man something, ask yourself, what am I hoping he's wanting to say or respond back to me by me asking this? Am I asking this because I want him to do something for me? All right, get really clear. Am I asking a loaded question right now? Am I looking for a certain response by asking this? And if you are, you want to peel back and you want to make sure you share without any expectations of a response or a reply. All right. It's kind of a dark example, but I hope it helps, Amy. Hannah said, if a guy becomes suspicious and a bit rude every time I'm genuinely kind and warm, what do I do? I have zero agenda. Well, Hannah, what do you feel when he gets like a little suspicious and rude when you're warm? What do you feel? It would crack me up. I mean, I think it's hilarious. So just kind of notice, what are you feeling when he does that? And if you can, answer me in the message. But ultimately, just ignore it. Ignore it. Go, okay. But make sure, that agenda is not there. You're saying it's not there. But remember, warmth is something that you should just kind of hang out with all the time. And he may just be new to it. He has possibly never had a woman be warm without trying to get something out of him and manipulate him. And isn't that so sad? That's really, really sad. All right, we're going to take one more question, and then I'm going to say goodbye to you all. So I've loved having you with me today, talking about the drama. I do have a couple of tips for how to avoid drama that we can go over. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one. The guy cheated. There are only a couple of things that, for me, I'm like, no. And that's lying and cheating. If they do it once, they're going to do it again. Lying, cheating, or hitting you. If they do it once, they're going to do it again. Unless you are married to this man, Esha, there's no reason that you need to keep pursuing him unless you're married to him. You don't owe him anything. And I would rather you ask yourself, what is it about me that I need to hold on to this quality of a relationship? Dream something bigger. See what happens to you when you dream something bigger. If you get triggered, and if so, what is that trigger about? That's where your work is. That's what I want you to do. In Over My Head says, my husband complains a lot about his job, and I try to fix it with suggestions. I tried the get him tool many times. How can I get this to stop? Oh my goodness, in Over My Head 29. You might be new to my material because this is something I talk about in 500 Ways to Talk to a Man ebook, which is you're not a therapist. You're not his mom. One of my hottest posts on my Instagram channel. By the way, there's my Instagram channel right there if you want to subscribe. Hottest post the other day was, his problems are not your problems. They're not your problems. That's his job. He chooses to keep that job, not you. And you sit there and listen. And he treats you like a therapist, and that's not very sexy, is it? It's not very sexy. So I want you to give him 5 minutes of your time and look at a clock and let him just go on and go on for 5 minutes. And I want you to look him right in the eyes. And I want you to, uh-huh, oh, and listen to it. Oh my goodness. At the end of 5 minutes, I want you to say, oh my goodness, that must feel so terrible. I feel so helpless to help you. Will you let me know if there's anything I can do? And I'm sure you can figure this out. And then you just get up and go to your sewing room, go outside and take a walk and say, oh, honey, this conversation that's just gotten me so tense. I'm going to go outside and take a walk. I know you're going to figure it out, sweetie. Love you. And be sincere. Keep doing that over and over and over again. All right? Okay. Seems like I had one other question in here. Jackie, you don't have a question? But thank you. All right, you guys. I think that's it. Someone's talking about the I'm fine comment. Great. Okay. Jeff will do the same thing with me. I can sense, he'll come out of his office and I can sense something's up and I go sniffing to see what's up. That's my choice. I don't have to. I can just ignore it. And a lot of times I do. I just ignore it and I just do me. He's a man. He's going to figure it out. Okay. But sometimes when I do ask Jeff, like, baby, what's up? I'm noticing some tension. He goes, no, I'm fine. Men are just not going to admit to emotions the way that we would with our girlfriends. If your girlfriend were to come up to you and go, honey, are you okay? You would maybe bust out in tears, right? That's what we do. That's not what men do. Men are different than women. And that's the beautiful thing about feminine energy is that you're realizing how different men are from us. We are not really equals. I think we should get, equal pay and things like this, but we're just different creatures with different energies and different hormones and responses. So men are not going to respond the way that we want them to. But make sure you're getting that love and that validation from your girlfriends, from people in your life, that you're giving it to yourself. Spend quality time with yourself. Connect with people. As soon as you're done with this video, put down your phones, close your computer, go spend time with someone you love. Physical touch, hug them, hold them, talk to someone without technology. I try to go several hours a day with no technology. All right, we got one more here from Ellie. She is recently engaged / living together. Congratulations. And her guy is in bachelor mode. I'm feeling underappreciated. I told him how I feel and there's no change because feeling statements are not supposed to create change. That's not what they're meant to do. Sometimes someone will write me and say, Adrienne, I'm sorry, but I did your feeling statements and they didn't work on my guy. And they're not meant to work. They're not manipulation. They're just meant to say, here's how I feel. Now, if you tell somebody, here's how I feel, and they go, that's who you're living with. That's who you're engaged to, right? Got to accept it. Now, you didn't give me any specifics on what bachelor mode means. Does that mean hanging out with his friends until 2 a.m.? What does that mean? Because unless it's really affecting you, or if it's a preference, That's the difference. Is it really affecting me? Is it really bad for me what's happening? I'm not feeling appreciated. What does that mean? That he needs to be saying thank you all the time? What does that mean? Okay, so try to answer me. And while you're answering me, I can't take any more questions. Ellie says, I'm wanting him to fix it, but I've told him what I need. You need to tell us what you need, what you're trying to get, because Brittany and I are both trying to figure that one out. Oh, here she says, he doesn't care if the house is clean. He doesn't really clean up. He eats ramen and frozen pizza over my meals. My hobbies of cooking don't matter anymore. Cook for you, girlfriend. Cook for you. Go get yourself a nice big steak. He's going to be hungry for it probably, but go get yourself a nice big steak and everything you want and cook yourself some wonderful, healthy meals. Jeff does not like salmon. I love salmon. I love salmon poke. And I love raw tuna, and he doesn't really like that. He'll eat sushi with me sometimes, but we sometimes eat different things. That's fine. He can go eat whatever he wants to go eat. I'm gonna treat this goddess body like a goddess on a pedestal. I'm gonna feed myself everything wonderful that I like. So you're giving to get. You're creating these meals to get something from him. Keep your part of the house clean. Let his stuff pile up. Do your laundry. Wash your dishes. Or ask him, say, oh, we just had this great meal together. Wait, even better. After dinner, go lay in your bed. Go lay in your bed and read a book until he comes to you and goes, hey, I noticed the dishes are really piling up. Go, oh, yeah, bummer. What do you want to do? He goes, I think we need to clean them. Let him solve it. All right, let him solve it. Once a man becomes like, I'm the guy around here and this place is a mess, we need to clean up, you're home free. He solved it. He'll never forget it. He can never back out of it. He solved the problem. It's a game changer. All right. But keep cooking yourself some great meals. I love it. All right, everybody. I'm going to close up shop. And I'm just going to give you a couple more tips, a couple more notes I made here about not engaging with dramatic energy or a dramatic person, because when you start to change this and you do some of these feminine energy techniques, there's a good chance your guy is going to crank up that drama and almost be begging for drama. They want you to change back to what they're familiar with and what they're used to having, and that happens. And also you might have a really dramatic guy, okay? So feminine energy helps to cure drama by the following: using I feel, I'm feeling, I felt, I sensed, I'm sensing. Go into your body, what you feel in your body, right? Go into what you're feeling. I want you to recognize your trigger, okay? So for the young lady we were just talking to, your trigger is a nasty house and you guys are not having family meals. This may be a very important thing for you to have in a relationship. So as you continue to experiment living together before you get married, I want you to find out how you can either work around this or can you accept it. Know your triggers. Know what they are. Are they really deal breakers? Get clarity on that. Number 2, take responsibility for yourself. Again, let's use you as an example. You're going to clean your part of the house. You're going to keep up with your dishes. You're going to let his laundry pile up. You're going to do your laundry pristinely. You're going to cook you amazing meals. You are taking responsibility for yourself. Men are not emotionally responsible for us. Number 3, you're going to express yourself, which means here's how I feel. Here's what's going on with me. Wow, it would feel really good if the house was totally clean. I must admit, I do love a clean house. What do you think? And the guy goes, I don't care. That's who you're with. That is who you're with. Just wait until you have kids. You can let him know, baby, I'm going to have to leave the relationship. I love you. I'm crazy about you. The sex is amazing. I can't live in a dirty house. I can't do it. Can we fix that? I want to fix it. I want to stay together. I want to fix it. But let me tell you, he may say no, and you've already said I'm leaving. So do not just play that card willy-nilly. That is a last step sort of thing to do. The next one is, what can the man really do? Okay, I kind of touched on that already. Like, what is he really capable of? Observe him. Know what you're working with. Men are not mirror images of ourselves, all right? Meet your needs, express yourself, see what he does. Can I live this way? Yes or no? Only you know that. Only you know, can I live with a man who never says I love you? Can I live with a man who will never wash a dish in his life? Can I live with a man who never makes us dates? Can I live out the rest of my life with this? Or can I possibly find it with someone new? And as you know, if the roof doesn't leak, the basement floods. Every man has a problem, but you may be more compatible with certain men than other men, but just be very careful there. I would much rather if you have a good relationship, you have a loving, warm relationship, don't bail on it so quickly. See if you can bring about some positive change by focusing on the positive, being in your feminine energy, receiving the man's energy. See if you can't begin to shift things in the household that way. All right, girls? You guys have been so much fun today. Thank you so much for all the wonderful comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy we were able to come together today. For those of you who are new to my channel and you don't know much about me, I'm Adrienne Everheart, feminine energy therapist for women. Please do take a moment and subscribe to my channel. There's a little heart down here in this corner. Just click subscribe. Please give my video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and it helped you. And if you want to go deeper, I have an ebook that I think every woman should have. It comes with 2 video classes. It's called 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. And it goes deep into the process of finding your feelings and speaking your feelings to a man in a way where he connects with you instead of you guys are at odds. And the video class is fun too. We did talk about my ABCs to get him back. It works. It's amazing. I have so many success stories because of it. With the ABCs, the absolute best chances, you change. You begin this huge shift that usually calls the man back to you. In a lot of cases, you call the man back to you and he actually isn't what you want anymore. That happens so much. And because you have changed and you've gone to this goddess on a pedestal place, but usually the man comes back around, you guys can rebuild. I would probably say maybe 60% of the time the girl doesn't want him anymore. Or you open yourself up and attract the type of man you do want in your life. I also have fem tools for dating. If you are new to dating and you're trying to put all of this together with your dating profile and messaging and meeting for coffee and dates and things like that, you want to get fem tools for dating. Fem Diamond goes even deeper into dating, relationships, long distance relationships. We talk a little bit about pandemic and just being safe about certain things. That's in Fem Diamond. And then I also have Fem for marriage and relationships. And if you're into manifesting and calling forth and also learning my great dating tools, I have something called New Man Manifesto. All right. Join me over on my free group, I Heart Love Academy. If you get stuck on your program, you have a couple of questions. And thank you, Brittany, for moderating. Thank you for the links, Brittany. She's going to post some links below. And girls, thank you for showing up. Please give my video a thumbs up. I would love to see your thumbs up, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments too. I usually try to answer them all within the first day or so, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sending you much love. Mwah. Bye-bye. Take care.